Hello. Happy Monday. I just got home from the grocery store like 10 minutes ago. Hi. Um, I am not as combobulated as I'd like to be, and that's just par for the course, I guess. So that's fine. Um, Went to the grocery store, bought some things, got in the car. It's well, I couldn't tell because, my fancy watch doesn't tell me what time it is. It just looks pretty, but there's no numbers, and I can never tell the fours from the fives and the twos from the ones and, so on and so forth. So I didn't really know what time it was. And I'm like, is it going on 4:30 or 3:30? And then my car said it was going on what did it say? Oh, 5:30. And I was like, well, then I'm late. Anyway, so I hurried home to you guys, none of whom are here right now, and hurried home and threw the things that needed to be thrown into I almost said the washer and the dryer, but that would be weird, but into the refrigerator and the freezer, into those places, and here I am. So I I'm just gonna take a little sip. I have 0 viewers, so here's to you. Okay. Um, I woke up and it was this morning, and it was broad daylight. The sun was up enough over the trees that I could see the sun, and my alarm had not gone off, and my alarm goes off every day at 8 o'clock. And I had to go to the bathroom, which is why I woke up. So I did, and I came back, and my alarm still hadn't gone off. It was 7:43. My alarm goes off at 8. And I thought, oh, yeah, time change. I mean, I know about the time change, but I just and I could have gotten up. I was awake. I was feeling rested. I had gone to the bathroom. I could have continued getting ready for my day, and I chose to go back to bed, and I woke up at 11, the new time, which is what, noon, the old time, right? So my dog was not happy, but now I'm super well rested. So there you go. I still apparently have 0 viewers. So I'm just going to talk to myself for a little bit. There, showing all the things. I'm live. Woo! Oop, turn off the sound, Sarah. Whee! And I that's all fine. So I took a class. I took the first 2 sessions, yep, of a class this weekend. That's a 3-part class. The other part is next weekend, the last part on blackwork. And with your help, I started to pick out colors last week and did not, in fact, make up my mind. I think I had decided to, well, at one point I had decided to do a rainbow. And then I had talked myself out of the rainbow because there were 9 things to make colorful, and there's only 7 colors in the rainbow on a good day, so I was confused. And then I decided to do stash when last you heard. And so that's where we left off. And so since then, I have in fact taken the class enough that you can see what I'm making. And I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put things over there. And I don't think I need any of those things, but there they are in case I do. So the class is called, I don't know what the class is called, but the technique is called blackwork. And oh, I have a person. Yay, hi. I've been talking to no one. Um, the technique is called blackwork, and it's traditionally, I don't know, we didn't get to the traditionally part yet. We're going to do that in the last class, but traditionally it's not done on black Aida cloth, but I am of course doing it on black Aida cloth because it's me. And I didn't go for rainbow, but I am going for colors that make me happy because that's important. And I started with the colors that we had picked out, because you helped. I'll put it upside down so you can see. Um, and was perfectly I just decided to do there's 3 panels, each one has 3 pencils. It's a pencil, roll up, not like a fruit roll up, but a pencil holder thing. Okay, it says I have hi, Anna, which means hi, Brandon, right? So I'm working on the fountain pen roll up thing, and much farther than I expected to be. I will bend my thing down and show you. Whoop. So I turned it to face you. So we started in the middle. Whoops, and then I pressed the keyboard. We started in the middle with this guy and did the outline. So those are just back stitches. And then I think we just started a filler stitch. So this is one of the filler stitches. So blackwork is a filler stitch, different filler stitches. And what I do know, because she's the teacher, Linda Peets told us, is that it dates back to Henry VIII. So I'm gonna have to watch the whole Tudors series again, and this time pay attention to whether I see blackwork. Yep. Uh, that will not be a hardship for me if it's still on. I don't have Netflix anymore. But anyway, then we outlined the other 2 for that panel, and she started a second filler stitch here, but I did not get that far. I don't remember why. Yep, and then there's 2 more. The homework was to get the 3 here and the 3 here outlined, which I did by last night. In a lot of it was done during a car ride, which was interesting because I can see the holes, but it's 8 o'clock. You can kind of just shove the needle through a gap, and that's usually the right one. And so I did that in the car and did pretty well. So I did I did this outline and most of this outline in the night. Well, before I went to bed after the first class. Okay. Anyway, so then the second class last night, we did some more filler stitches. And I didn't always finish because we wanted to move on to the next one. So this one looks like little flowers. And this one is little, V's, like zigzags with lines. So it makes little slanty rectangles. I don't know what you'd call that. This one can look like little people. If you look at it one way, it's like little people with their arms raised. So see if you can see that. And this one, I think, yeah, everything's on there. This one is diamonds with crosses in them. And this one was, I was not enjoying it. This was my least favorite in the beginning, but if you ask questions, you learn things. So I discovered a different way. I asked about a different way to do it and was given permission. So I think they look like jelly beans. She describes them as hexagons, which I suppose is fine. But there you go. So those are all started. And then homework is we have one more class. Homework is to get the other 3 outlines done. And then we'll go over the last 3 blackwork patterns on Saturday, I think. And then we make a thing, which we have the directions for, and she'll go over it with us, but we won't actually be sewing it together, to my knowledge, because optional homework is to actually fill in the things with the ones that we know. So I don't think I'm going to get that far. So my homework was working on these 3, 1, 2, 3. And part of it is based on, since I'm trying to use stash, part of it is based on the fact that the middle one is the longest, and which ones do I have the most, which colors do I have the most floss quantity for. I started to use a light, like an icy green for this large center one, and decided that it does not make my day. It does not bring me joy. So you get to hang out with me while I take this one out, this back stitch. It would be quicker if I could start at this end where the tail was, but since I just keep, you kind of keep stabbing the stuff you did before, so it's kind of all locked in from that direction. But I can take it out this way. And then I do still have a shit ton of other colors, but they're already put away kind of in the basement in my satellite craft room, my satellite office, the non-knitting office. So I am sticking to the original. I don't know if you know what I settled on. Well, let's just stop and look. I had settled on, I was still thinking rainbow when last we talked. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. So I had settled on these combinations. Whoops, whoops. And took them with me. Oh, we're missing somebody. Oh, it's this one right here. Hi. So I had settled on these combinations, but still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 9 things and 3 panels, and none of that added up to 5. So I just went with ones that made me happy. But now I feel like this is my stash, my stack. So the middle 3 are this darker pink, like a rose violet. I went with the pale pink and the middle orangey one to kind of warm it up. And that made me happy. I'm sort of second guessing myself about the light pink, but not taking that one out. And then this side over here, I went with this, I like this green a lot, but I don't have a lot of it. So I went for the smaller of the 3. They're supposed to be pencils, but it turns out this is kind of a thread hog. So hopefully I'll have enough. And if not, we'll figure it out. And I went with the darker blue and the darker purple over there. So see, those little sets make me happy. And over here, orange, and I kind of like another green. I might do another green, but I decided this pink was I decided to do this guy, this light green, and it's not making me happy after all. It's too icy. So I'm going to put this pink there, and then I might put the green there. Or is that too similar to this? Who cares? I just kind of want, it's going to fold into thirds or whatever, and I want each of them to make me happy. So this one's kind of a something. I don't know yet. I think I'm going to do those. I don't think I have enough purples and pink. Well, enough purples and pinks, but I'm going to add that one. This is a little too pale. Okay, I think it's going to be another green. So we'll keep these out. So anyway, I am, you know what? It would be a good idea if I'm putting all these things in my beautiful fabric wrapped clothesline bowl that I made in another Stitches class. It'd be nice if I only had the ones I'm using in here. Okay, so we can continue now that you know how I picked my colors, which was originally rainbow, and then it was, the parameters were originally rainbow, and then stash, and then actually I was going for light, medium, and dark tone. Tone, is that right? The gray one? Which those didn't really work. They looked like they would, but they weren't all even. Oh, because remember, yeah, I showed you the gray tone on my camera, the mono filter on those colors. I did talk about that last time. Yay, brain cells. So, and then the parameter became whatever makes Sarah happy, which is a good parameter, but within the original little palette that I had narrowed it down to, because I took this on the road. I went away for the weekend, um, just a 3-hour drive away to a beautiful lake up near Traverse City. And okay, so this goes back in bowl. Okay. And we will just get started on this one so I know which one I want it to be. Yep. So yes, I only had this the so many. Oh, I guess I didn't cut that yet. Or did I? Oh, I did. There it is. Um so many colors with me. Anywho, so I used to do a lot of counted cross stitch, and when it was instinctual for me, I think the last time I did cross stitch was for my youngest son's birth sampler. My youngest son is currently 25 years old. So it's an unfinished project. I do think I will finish it someday. But as I started to work with this floss, I took it apart before I put it back together. So I asked the teacher, Linda, about that. Like, are we supposed to do that? Is that a thing still? And she said, um, you don't have to, but you can if you want to. And she chooses not to usually. But, probably be consistent. Those might be my words. So I'm just going to do this upside down. And then, so I chose to continue to separate them before I embroidered with them. And as a result, it makes the stitches a little fuller. And these are all 3 strands. And so as she was demonstrating on her camera, everything looked a little more, smaller, thinner, less filled in. And I'm like, it looks different. What am I doing wrong? And then oh yeah, I remember I fluffed mine up. So that was a choice, and that's fine. So another thing, a thing I didn't know is that she had us tie an overhand knot and anchor it somewhere away from where we're, here we go, it's right there, away from where we're embroidering, and then we will, sorry, I got to turn this, no, I can do it this way. We will go back, and it keeps the tail out of the way, and then you can go back and hide the tail under the same color. So that's what I learned that I didn't used to know. Can you see it if I'm doing it this way, or should I do it this way? I'm just going to do a little bit to get it started. You can see it this way. Whoops. So I'll just show you the outline. I'm not going to show you how to do black work because I paid the big bucks for the class and you didn't. So neener. But back stitch is back stitch. So there you go. And I have my cute little needle minder, which says I never finish anything. And I had a little scare yesterday when I got in the car to come back. I was not driving. I was showing the driver how fabulous the little needle minder was, and I lost the back of it. I was like, isn't this great? Oh, where'd that go? So we looked for it for a while and didn't find it, and I was sad. I'm glad it was the back and not the front, but I was sad. And then as soon as I got home and started unpacking, I found it. It had, it's a magnet. It had stuck itself to actually another magnet inside one of the bags I was using. So found it right away when I got home. I figured it was stuck to something, just couldn't find what. So this is me just, doing some pink for this one. Backstitch. Whoop. So I don't know how black work normally is. I mean, I'm sure you don't always make pencils out of it, right? And then boop, I'm just going to leave that there and put this away. That's my black work class. There's some charts. There's the class stuff. And what else did I want to show you about that? Also, we were putting together my supplies last week. And I mentioned that I needed a size 20, I think, I forget, 26, 20? needle. And and I showed you, see, things are coming back to me. And so I remembered the, oh, it's downstairs now, the John James needle sizing cheat sheet. And so I spent a lovely evening finding all of my needles and sorting them, which was not as easy as I thought it was going to be because they all look the same. But I sorted them. So these are tapestry needles that are blunt and they're in order by size. How long is this going to last? I don't know. And then these are not tapestry needles, so they are maybe chenille needles. I forget. Large eye. And then these are a little bit smaller eye, and I don't know. I'm losing it. Sharps maybe? No, they're not sharps. There's something else. I forget what the names of them are. And then these were sharps. And I think these were more sharps in bigger sizes. And then those are between quilting betweens. That's a darner, and these were beading needles. And this is a lovely little I don't know what it's called, needle book that Jen, who works at Woven Art, made and gave to me one year. So there we go. So that was fun. So I'll come and look at you. Hi. I'm getting the note about closing everything else. Keeps freezing on me. My connection, not yours. Hi, Teresa. How are you? Yeah, so you probably have. Your shop does needle point, but you also do cross stitch, right? You do both, I think. Teresa has a shop in, let me see if I can do it. A place. I'll get it. And her shop is called Homestead Needle Arts, I think. And it's in Grand Blanc. That's what I'm going to go with. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And you can put a link to your shop in the chat if you'd like. Also, Teresa, if you're still there. Yeah, so I do know people with needlework shops. There's one in Ellen Taylor has one in she doesn't have one. She works in one in it's on Mack Avenue, so near Detroit. So what is that, Farmington or Farmington Hills or Farmington something, or not that at all? And that one's called, I think it's called the Knotted Needle. And Ellen, if you pop in, you can slap that in the chat also. So we do have there are needlepoint stores and cross stitch stores, and there was one right around the corner from Artisan Knitworks when it was in Farmington something, one of those towns, and I don't believe that one's still open, and I don't know what it was called. Stitch in Time in Howell used to have, I don't know if they still have cross stitch and needlepoint. I don't know if they'd still have cross stitch and needlepoint, but they had some too. So, you know, as I start to embroider again, things are I'm gonna start shopping in more places again. Yeah, I see more embroidery in my future. It was really nice to put needle to thread again. I just made that up. So that's what I did in one of my classes this weekend. The other class was boob camp. I don't have anything to show for that. Although I did discover that I should be wearing I've gained weight. I knew that, and it's there's a reason my bras don't fit anymore. Let's just put it that way. So I have confirmed that I have gained weight in those areas. So another thing I'd like to do today is I feel like I think of things to do that I don't want to do, and you can keep me company, and then it makes it easier or more fun or less horrible for me to do. Today, if you would help me, I will introduce you to my teddy bear. This is my teddy bear. I've had him since I was in high school, a senior in high school, because shortly before that is when I found out that the teddy bear I thought was my teddy bear had in fact been my sister's teddy bear, and been I had a used teddy bear, and I got mad at my parents, and I went out and found a teddy bear, and they made them give it to me for I think I got it for Christmas. So he's been through a lot. So that's 18. I was 18-ish, and I'm 60, so that's 58-ish. So he's 40, he's over 40 years old. And he has, so it's been pointed out to me that he has changed color. So he's got a bunch of different colors. um, and then he has issues. So I recently, Molly, who is my massage person, offered her services for storing stuffed animals like from your childhood. So I entrusted her with my bear, and she basically gutted him. She gutted him and then took out all the stuffing, which would be gutting, and then put new stuffing in, sewed him all back up, and she said she took all the thread that had held him together and put it into a little heart and embroidered his name on it, and it's in his chest. So I'm not going to go in and look for it, even though I could right now, but I am going to. He opened back up. He gets a lot of use. I sleep with them every night. Um, Although I didn't take him with me this weekend. So I'm going to, whoops, well, with your permission, just do a quick repair on him. Because every time I go to bed, I think, oh, I should fix him, and then I go to bed and I don't fix him. And since I have my needles, and if this turns out to be a bigger job than you need to witness, then I will stop. So I'm going to get a sewing needle, a sharp. It's called a sharp. And I'm going to use him as a pincushion and just jab it into his belly right now. Sorry. Whoops. Oh, man. Oh. So last night when I was taking the black work class, I accidentally, the needle was currently unthreaded and I dropped it onto the dog. That was a bit of a bummer. And I was like, don't move. Don't move. Please don't move. And then I found it and it was no longer on the dog, but it was impaled into the carpeting. So so these are, I'll just give you a little tour of my life. These are scissors that my now ex-husband purchased for me because I had a lovely pair of embroidery scissors that he would play with when I was embroidering near him, and he'd open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, until it got to the point where you could just, flip them around and they never stayed open. And it's not the same as don't use my fabric scissors for paper, but it was like, so he felt badly and he bought me new scissors, which do not fall open, and they're very sharp. They're gingers, and they have a little sheath for safe thread cutting. Okay, I cut the thread. Anybody know where I put it? Oh, thank you. And I get to pretend to thread a needle in front of you. Whoop. Whoop. Nope. Whoop. Ooh, got it. And I guess I'm only using a single strand just now because that wasn't a very long strand. Wow, I can't even see this. When I was little, like elementary school, I guess, my mom sewed on her Kenmore sewing machine, and she would always have me thread her needles. And now I know why, because I can't see anything. Okay, probably this should have been doubled, but all right, let's do some surgery on this little guy. Poor guy. And then, we'll see if it holds. I have a cup of tea right here, so, what can go wrong? So this is going to be like a fix, or a patch, not a fix. I just want him to not get any worse than he already is. So just a quick, like a mattress stitch. I don't know. Do you call it a mattress stitch in sewing? I'm basically basting him back together. This bluish grayish, that's his old stuffing. It was really soft and like silky, squishy. And so he was very cuddly, very squishy, very silky, squishy, cuddly. And Molly chose to put I talked to her about how much that meant to me, and she washed him too, by the way. Thank goodness. And I mean, he's been in the washing machine a few times, but he's getting kind of delicate. And I don't know if he'd like the washing machine anymore. So he's never met Mr. Fluffy, my new dryer. She chose to put fiber fill inside. She left space, so he's still squishy, but he's not quite as silky squishy as he was. Okay, let's see if I can tighten him up. It's making creaking noises. It's probably going to break before I get it snugged up. It's not yarn, Sarah. Doesn't work quite the same. And yet it does. Look at that. Don't want it to snap on me. So there you go. That was fast. And then we'll... Sorry for stabbing you so many times. Ouch. Well, I guess I just got what? The karma came around and I stabbed myself. Oh, and I'm bleeding too. Awesome. Okay. Okay, I'm making a really bad knot, which I'm not going to be able to ever get out again. Oh, and now the thread is red because I'm bleeding, and we'll just jab it through there. And try not to drop it on the dog. Okay, scissors, scalpel. All right, let's see. The thread is gone. The scissors are getting put away. The needle, oh my gosh, where did I get the needle from? Right there. Put it back. It's probably bloody. That's okay. And hi, thank you for helping me. That took way less time. So now he's doesn't have a gaping hole in his arm. It's not pretty. But it's much better. It's kind of at an angle. Okay. The patient is going to live, let me tell you. Both of us are going to live. All right, I got one more comment. You guys are quiet today. Nice mug rug. What? Oh, did you know? I mean, you didn't see it probably. Hi, Denise. Are you talking about this? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. Hold on. Okay. And, oh. Bleeding like a stuck pig, I am. And that's really, yeah, this is going to be a short one. That's really it. There's one other sewing job I have to do, but I don't want to do it at all. So I'm not even going to do it with you, but I'll show you what it is. This is the month of little things, according to the, did I spill that? According to the fictitious theme for the Woven Art Zoom Along that happens on Wednesdays. And you may have seen this guy 1,000 years ago because that's when I started him. Oh. But he is, okay, now my finger hurts. See how awful it looks? It's not even bleeding. I was making a sloth. And so I'm done knitting and the fun part's all done. So here's his body. Here's his head. I actually finished his head and made him a smile, a nice crooked smile, last Wednesday, and I got stuck. This is the next thing I need to do is close the back of his head. And then the next thing I need to do is stick it on his body, whichever way that's supposed to go. And then he has back legs with little feet that go, on the body, which I assume goes that way. Is there shaping in the body? See if there is. I have to figure that out, figure out which way it goes. And then he has little arms with little sloth claws made out of I-cord, and you can he could hold a knitting needle if he wanted to, or the knitting needle could hold the sloth claws. And those get sewn on. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to sew together so that it looks more sloth-like. And then I already finished, he has a poncho. So I already finished his poncho, which I think is too big because I didn't use the yarn that was called for. So that reminds me. So the black work, I'm just going to keep loading this back into the bag. I will perhaps do a little bit more this Wednesday during the same Zoom along, knit along, or perhaps not. Oh, Clara says that we should finish the sloth. Zip. And I'm putting away the scissors, and I'm putting away the thread, cleaning up after myself. I was going to say something, and then I pulled out this little sweater to see if it would fit the bear, and I'm pretty sure already that it won't, but let's see. So that he'd be a little more protected. Ooh, the back fits. I wonder if I can button it on him. This is a sweater I made a million years ago. It's Pomfret from Brunswick Yarns. Let's see. It's a little big, in the arms, but that's okay. I mean, I could make him his own sweater, but I have this one. Let's see. Buttoning backwards and off camera, or out of my sight using the camera. I think. Well, we'll just leave that one undone. My dad always left the bottom button of his cardigans undone for the same reason. And then we can just do this. There's this little paw. And then we can do this. There's this little paw. He doesn't really have shoulders. So, I don't know. I think he needs his own sweater because that's pretty schlumpy looking. No offense, little dude, but... but, it fits-ish. Yeah, definitely need... Maybe he would like a raglan. I don't know. Okay, so there's him. I think I started to tell you that I totally am not doing anything I'm supposed to be doing in that black work class except using the correct filler stitches, although I did get permission to do one of them differently because I didn't like it. Not differently, it's the same pattern. I'm doing it in a different order than the one in which it was presented. How's that? So, that's it. That's all I have. Thanks for listening. So I got my bear repaired. I took out the green I didn't like and put in, started the pink that I do like. So thank you for helping me with those. And I showed you the sloth, so you can hold me accountable to maybe someday finish the sloth. And hopefully soon. I'm planning on November for that. And it is November, so so that's it. I'm done. It's been a quiet Facebook Live. And I think that's it. You guys are probably all outside because now it's dark. It's probably still gorgeous out. It was in the 60s. It's in the 60s right now. My magic watch says it's 61 degrees. See, I know what temperature it is outside, but I have no idea what time it is because I can't see the numbers. I could just change the face. Whoop. See, there's a rainbow one. Some way. Well, there's some way to change faces. I don't know. Maybe if I press on it. Oh yeah, there we go. So see, I could. No. Ah, there's different faces. If you have one of these, you know that there are different faces, and, now I'm all messed up. Yeah, I don't know. Click, click, swipe. I don't know. I'm all messed up now. Um, yep. So don't forget to go find all your clocks that don't automatically change and change them if you haven't already. Um, I was thinking I almost put it on I started to put it on Facebook and I couldn't spell any of the words right, and I gave up. That was the universe telling me it's not that funny. But since it's like 60 degrees today, I was gonna say, "Oh, so I get it. The time change is when or daylight savings time, whatever, is when or the ending of it, the time change, let's just call it the time change, is when it gets to be like summer again because it's 60 degrees instead of the 30 degrees it was last week." And with that very humorous ending, I'm going to say goodbye and I will see you next week. I may or may not have a complete sloth. I will show you my progress on the black work. I will be done with the class, but probably not the roll up. And we'll see. I'll see you next week. Bye.